It's time to check your money with America's Money Maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, how you doing?
Oh, George, I'm doing great. We are in the middle of what I would call fair season. I love
Yes,
The great New York State Fair.
yes, yes, yes.
It's always a lot of fun. Okay, and it's also a reminder of what's coming down the pike sometime soon. But it's a great time for everybody here to enjoy some fun and relaxation food. Do you have a favorite food, George?
Ooh, favorite food at the state fair. Hmm. Well, I do like to go over to the Pan African Village and do a little something over there. I
Mm-hmm.
do like but what do I have to have when I go to
Yes.
the fair? I like the chocolate milk. I do like that. Is this I do. I feel like that's a thing. Oh, I like the baked sweet potato for a
Yeah.
dollar at
Yeah.
the center of is no the horticulture building.
Horticulture, right?
Horticulture building. I love that. Um, what else? So those are the kind of things I like. Does there? I used to like the sausage, like everybody. I shouldn't say I used to like it. I still like it, but I miss the booth that was right there
Right.
in the front.
Okay.
And
Well,
now I would
my favorite, and I like all those things that you just outlined, but you know what my absolute favorite is?
what?
The smoked turkey leg.
Yeah, the smoke. So
Walking around like a troglodyte with my smoked
Gl-
turkey leg.
Gloria likes the fried dough and stuff like that, whatever those things are. I never could get it for myself, but I love picking off of hers.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Vicky, on tonight, by the way, Busta Rhymes is going to be at Suburban Park. Busta Rhymes. Now, I gotta tell you a story about Busta Rhymes. I
Okay.
actually did go to see. There was a concert at Weedsport, Cayuga County Fairgrounds, and it was a rap concert. I remember my
Okay.
niece was in town, and so she wanted to go see all these artists. So I was the chaperone. Vicky,
Mm.
now this was before marijuana was legal. You talk about a cloud of smoke, and Buster Rhymes performed
Oh,
at the
George.
Cayuga County, but I'm talking about a cloud of smoke.
Mhm.
So that's the last time I saw Buster Rhymes, first and only time that I saw Buster Rhymes perform in Weedsport, New York, of all places. But Vicky,
Weed sport.
Weedsport, New York. I just got. I see you. I
Look
see
at you.
you.
You're so slow.
I see you. Well, let me tell you, it lived up to its name
Okay.
back in the day. All right, so this was years and years ago. All right, Vicky. There's something special about this conversation today. What is it?
Here's the special thing about today. George, we have made it to our 300th. Can you believe this?
Wow,
300
300. No way.
unique, okay, meaning first time conversations as far as America's Money Maven on inspiration for the nation. And I looked it up. I said, you know what? I wonder how many podcasts actually make it to the 300 unique episodes. And it's only about 3%.
Really?
3%. Okay. And this really is really a milestone for you and I. And for the two of us, it's really something that I know that I'm going to sit back later on and probably try and marinate and understand what this really means to me. But for the first time, I had to say, when we started out, George kind of had black hair. But when we started out, I went back and looked.
we,
I have a copy. Okay. We when we were back in the studio,
back
remember?
in the studios.
Back in the studio. Okay.
So, it may be longer than that. You said 5 years. It's more than that.
It's more than 5 years, okay?
Yeah,
But I
it
said
is. It
unique
is.
episodes, okay?
Yes.
Because
Yeah. Yeah. Because we've been doing this version, but for about 4 years.
right, okay, because we had to go into the COVID version, okay? This
Right. Right. Right.
where
Right.
we started, okay? But I was so concerned back when we started that we were going to have enough content. Remember that?
Yeah,
Am
I
I going to be
do.
able to find something to talk about every week? And yes, it's been nice to have Mr. Jenkins fill in for us, so especially this summer. But if we go back and look, we've always been fortunate to have content that we believe, and I think from the reaction of our audience, has been impactful, that has helped with their decision making and given everyone some guidance on some of the things they need to consider concerning their finances each and every week. So, George, congratulations. We had to get us a little clink clink. Okay.
Right, no, well, I did. You didn't hear this, but I got this for you right now, Vicki. Here you go.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear it. This is the applause. Shout out to GK and Vicki, and certainly Vicki. The community is responding. But now you want to basically say to some folks, so and we have off the air conversations. So Vicki, I'm gonna actually put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
So here we go. So Vicki and Vicki, we have a rapport, so I can do that.
Okay.
So Vicki, we were talking about what you feel is next for the show, and you said, now, if folks don't know how to do a budget by now,
and they're never gonna know how to do a budget.
Right? So talk about the fact that how maybe revisit why this is so critical that we know what's coming in, what's going on. You gave look, over the years, you've given all the different kind of ways to figure out what you're spending. So I know you made that statement and you probably didn't intend to be talking about this live. So go ahead.
No, because you told me we weren't going to talk about this live, but that's okay.
I did.
George.
I did say that, right?
I will remember this.
Listen, I'm on the list now, y'all. See?
Yes, he is. He's gonna be on the naughty list for Christmas.
I know.
But anyway, my point is this. At some point in time, it's important that we go into a more mature conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, because life is getting more and more. In fact, I was thinking about it, year after year that we've been together, you would think with the levels of conversations that we've had, and I've seen the changes in attitude and execution around the community, that every year, though, I notice that the challenges that we're having are getting steeper and steeper and steeper. And I was wondering to myself, in fact, I said, if we keep having challenges that are stretching us so, maybe the approach that we have taken concerning incremental conversations, and that's what I consider a budget to be, an incremental conversation, needs to expand to a more expansive, impactful conversation that moves us through certain segments of finance at a much more rapid rate.
Yes.
I designated it jumping into the deep end of the pool.
Come on now.
Versus us swimming out there with our little wings on. We got to jump into the deep end of the pool.
Get your snorkel and your scuba gear, because we about to go down.
Exactly. Because what's happening every year is that the challenges, think about it, George, since we started out together, we had the financial crisis. We had Y2K. I think again, I was with you at Y2K. We had that was back at WCNY. Okay. We also had issues concerning COVID. We've had issues concerning hyperinflation and deflation, all types of things that you would think would be spread out over a much wider time period have been compacted into the last 5 or 6 years. Rapid fire. So we need to look at some of the more impactful conversations to get prepared for what may be coming next and beef up around the information and execution of our own finances. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with today. This is part of a news story, but it has so much richness in it. I wanted to make sure we covered it. Shedeur Sanders.
Yes,
right?
Son of Deion Sanders, quarterback at Colorado, got drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, now, was he expected to be drafted in the 5th round? Absolutely not.
No.
We were all sitting there with our mouths wide open because we expected him to go 1 or 2.
One or two.
1 or 2, okay? And so the fact that he was all the way down to the 5th round, as far as his draft was concerned, everybody was like devastated and perplexed, totally taken aback as to why and what did he do and so on and so forth, or what did his father do to really piss off, excuse me, I won't say exactly how we looked at it, the NFL to a degree that they were going to punish this young man the way that they did. Here's a saying that I've heard many times before, but I heard it again most recently in a lecture that I was listening to with Don Peebles, and that is, every disruption is an opportunity. Stop and look at what that disruption provides as far as an opportunity is concerned. Well, Mr. Sanders took advantage of this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
In his contract with the NFL with the Cleveland Browns, and rather than really looking at what the package was going to be as far as just plain salary, he negotiated something called prime equity.
Prime
Equity clause in his NFL rookie contract. And that clause basically says that he gets a piece of every merchandise sale that's associated with his name, image, and likeness. Brilliant.
Right? So he basically created an NIL deal in the NFL.
In the NFL. So he learned something in Colorado while he was there, and he transferred that information to his NFL deal to the tune of, right now, his rookie jersey sales have been over $250 million. And he gets a piece of that $250 million right now. So far, he's gotten $14 million in concession from that portion of his contract, his prime equity contract. Because everybody's thinking, this guy's the fifth round. What was he going to get, like $1 million or something in his contract? Because he's
right.
The list. He said, no problem, no sweat. I understand business. Here's my point. Understanding how business operates. That is our responsibility going forward, because there is no way to create generational wealth without understanding how business operates. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to have memes about it anymore. All we want to do is to learn how business operates, what those transactions really mean, what the advantages of contracts present, and execute. So now he gets to revenue share. He gets branding ownership. He has a unique media right and a legacy building process. Because with that prime equity, what does that word equity mean? Ownership, mine. Okay? With that prime equity clause in his contract, he will continually get paid every time something with his name is sold, including his rookie jersey and shoes and whatever, that he is now in charge of the silver dollar, the dollars that come through without getting hit, by the way, George. Did you notice that?
Right.
Without getting hit, George.
As a matter of fact, he doesn't have to play. Well, he doesn't have to play. Because he's getting paid just because you bought whatever his number is.
Whatever his number. I got to go find out what his number is now. Okay. Whatever his number is, okay, he gets paid because of that. So there is an amazing rewriting of a rookie contract. I am sure the NFL right now, owners are going like, oh my God, because what's going to happen with the next set of contracts that come through with rookies going forward? Okay. Second thing I want to talk about today, George, has to do with by the way, you should jot this name down.
Okay. Number 12. I think that's his number. I'm not sure.
Okay. Somebody can call in and tell us.
Number 12. Well,
number
I don't
12?
know. I don't know. I don't know. We got to figure it out. I got to figure it out.
Okay.
All right,
I don't know if that's his number in Cleveland.
No, exactly.
That may have been his number in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to find out what his number is going to be in Cleveland. Okay?
It looks like number 12, so we'll see.
Maintain number 12? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about a name that I think everybody should look up, and that name is Alicia Little.
All right, before Alicia Little, one more thing. Going back to is the outside of sports, well, I guess food for thought is what Shedeur Sanders translatable outside of sports? Food for thought. I don't know if we have the answer right now, but is that is something like that negotiable in other lines of business, or is it unique to the sports world?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Okay. Understanding your brand, we've been talking about that forever. Controlling your brand ownership, having agency over who you are and what your brand represents. Now, it may not be exact overlay, but the brand ownership, if control for intellectual property, for the things that you do as far as creations, okay? Or just the brand ownership you create as far as your uniqueness within your business environment will drive revenue and equity in the future. Okay. So anything else before I go forward, George?
No. That's just good. Alicia Little.
Alicia Little, okay, who is better known as the Queen of AI. Okay. And I'm just dropping that name on everyone because I think you should go online and start watching many of her segments. Because if you have a question concerning the impact of AI and can you get involved, following Alicia Little will answer many of those questions. They have for me. She has for me. So this is just a tidbit here. But what I want to discuss more right now is the word they. I heard them say, they said this. I thought this because they did this. Who are these they people, George?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay. And so we're always hearing that because they said, or I heard this from them, that this information is true. So I decided to try and test out a couple of what I would say pervasive days out there to see if this information really is true, and if it's not true, what we should view around it and how we should handle it. So one of them has to do with the conversation that I hear quite often that Black women are the most highly educated segment of the population. So I asked AI, please prove to me that this is a true statement. In the process of doing so, a review of all of the statistics under the Bureau of Labor Statistics was used to look at what the true numbers were concerning segments within the population. The answer is no. Black women are not the most highly educated. Most highly educated are Asian.
Oh, you already gave it up. I was going to ask you to quiz me so I could give you my answer.
Oh, well, you gave me your answer. Okay, all right.
So I thought of, you're going to say Asian women. I thought I was going to say Asian women, but then I went to Nigerian within that genre, but that's what I was thinking. But go ahead. Yeah.
So the truth was Asian women, but okay, what also came about in that conversation, so I continued to have a conversation with ChatGPT saying, well, if that is the case, why is this viewed in the way it is? And what came out of it is that Black women are the most highly educated within the African American race, within the Black race, and that number is skewed very heavily into the 60s and 70s, in some cases, depending on doctorate degrees and so forth, 80% ranges. So I said, this is interesting. So I went back and also said, I've been hearing that 300,000 Black professional women have been laid off or fired or have left the profession in the last 6 months. Prove that to me to be true. Again, the numbers came back saying that that is not exactly true, that the number is closer to 200,000 versus 300,000, and that there appears to be within the segment a concentration of loss of jobs within the humanity areas, particularly around DEI. Well, I'd expect that, okay? But here's where the kicker came that was really surprising to me. I said, okay, tell me about the recovery period that it takes for someone to get back into the labor force, here's where it starts to get sticky. It takes Black women longer than anybody else to get recovered back into the labor force.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are some very distinct issues that take place concerning that, but it takes us longer to get back into the labor force. I asked the question, well, what things should we do in order to shorten that time frame? What steps should we take? Okay. And have a whole slew of things that we should take as far as looking at right-sizing skills and networking and all sorts of things that you would expect. Okay. But here's where the light bulb went off for me. I said, okay, I remember that Black women typically, particularly since we go for higher degrees, have higher levels of debt than any other segment in the population. Is that true? And the question was absolutely true. Okay, and this is where our problem lies. And I hope everybody's listening to me here. If we are losing jobs at a faster rate, at a 6% rate,
right,
and taking longer to recover and represent the majority or a higher level of the income being generated within our communities, and are carrying a higher level of debt, the impact to the community with the loss of women, Black women professionals, is going to be devastating. Okay. And I said, you know what, George? Now, this is Vicki's own conclusion. Because we over-index in DEI positions.
Go ahead.
And attack has been on DEI positions. And I'm smart, but I'm not the only smart cookie out there who noticed that Black women professionals with the highest levels of income and the highest level of debts are situated here. It feels kind of odd to me that that's where the attack started, particularly if you're trying to shackle a community going forward. Okay.
You said you were going in the deep end.
Yes. Okay. So what do we do about it? Is the question.
Yeah. What do we do about
it? What do we do about it? Okay. So we have to prepare not to ever be caught this flat-footed again. Okay. And look at the things that we can do to improve the recovery period so that we come out of this period at a faster rate. So we've created a guide to Black women recovery during times of stress, as far as how to come back from this type of devastating loss and carrying the types of debt that we are. Because there was also an announcement, George, a couple of days ago, that the income-based repayment plans under the SAVE program are being questioned by the administration.
Yep.
And that there's a possibility, here's the thing, a possibility that the public service loan forgiveness programs are going to be scrutinized differently based on the type of employer, not what the student did, the type of employer that you are working for.
So if your employer is woke,
correct, your PSFLS availability may get stripped. Okay, so if you would like a copy of our recovery guide, I will happily send it out to everyone. Okay, we're going to go through more steps on that recovery guide in our next conversation. But the overlapping issues here are basically focused in this direction. If a population is carrying a higher level of debt and over-index in one particular type of industry or a few industries, it leaves us vulnerable to attacks because we're all sitting. It's like you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. As a community, we may have put too many eggs in one basket around DEI positions so that we could get picked off. Yes.
And
other types of roles. Okay.
I don't know if you're rapping here because I wanted to go
Go ahead, George.
tangentially. I just want to go a little bit tangential, just
Okay.
to just to. There's some irony here. Tangentially, can I be
Yeah, go ahead.
tangentially ironic? So you know Target, right?
Yeah.
So Target has been the target of of Black folk in particular. Many of us, and sometimes we slip up, withdrawing our money from supporting them because of their specific anti-DEI focus. Now, other companies have, eliminated their DEI stuff, but we're really going after. We went after Target was the target, right? So this week it was announced that Target sales have plummeted for the third consecutive reporting cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and that has now forced, we assume, the
A new
CEO.
chairman.
Yeah, right. The CEO has had to step down. And so while these DEI positions are being eliminated across the country, here's one company that's had to suffer the wrath of the elimination of its DEI focus.
That
So
is,
was that tangentially ironic?
yes. Some of the things that we looked at as far as a playbook was,
Yeah,
first of all, stabilizing your finances immediately.
right.
Step as far as one of the steps. Protect your career capital. And I don't think I've talked about this enough, but if you're being laid off or downsized, right, okay, whatever, request documentation before you leave of a termination letter, your healthcare notices, negotiate your severance packages, and update your resumes immediately. Okay, but protect your career capital so nobody else is out there setting up, okay, or speaking on your behalf. How to strategically, one of the things we also talk about in the guide is how to strategically re-enter the workforce. Really paying attention to how to leverage your networks and upskill as quickly as you possibly can, and building wealth protection mechanisms, because you're going to be in a financial strain, but there are things that you should and shouldn't do on your wealth to protect it long term, so that you're not trying to recover for 3 to 5 years versus maybe 8 to 10 months, okay? And guard against long-term setbacks. So anyway, I'm happy to provide the full guide to anyone who wants it, because it covers a lot of additional information here. But I thought it's really important for us to pay attention to and start having more conversations on the fact that we are vulnerable in some cases because we over-indexed into one professional category that left our flank more exposed.
Okay, so
Yes, George.
let's go back to what is the name of the guide again?
Okay. The name of the guide is the Career Recovery Playbook.
The Career Recovery Playbook. And how do people get that career?
They can get the Career Recovery Playbook by writing info@brackensfsn.com and say, send me the Career Recovery Playbook.
info@brackensfsn.com.
Yes, I'll say it slowly. info@brackensfsn.com. Okay. All right, George, at this point in time, I'd like to say thank you for 300 amazing episodes with you. Absolutely has been my pleasure, and our plate is now full.
All right, Vicki, what do you want to tell me?
If you need to call us at area code 315-930-4499, or reach out to info@brackensfsn.com.
All right, Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven.
Okay.